So in this numerical, we'll study about resultant of coplanar non-concurrent force systems. So there is a lamina. You can see whatever in the blue color, it's a lamina which is coplanar in the sense there is no other dimensions, only x and y. The lamina is 10 mm by 10 mm or 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter grid. Okay. So what they say is there's a point. I'll change the color. Okay. There's a point O over here, and there's a point A, and there's a point B and C. These 3 points are very important. Okay. So there are 3 forces that is right now you can see over here. One is 2 kilonewton, one is 5 kilonewton, and one is 1.5 kilonewton. What they inform us is there is a resultant that is going on. We need to find the value or the magnitude of the resultant as well as the distances between the resultant as well as the moment center, or the other term, this is our moment arm. Okay, this D is our moment arm for the resultant. So we proceed with the first finding the theta values. Okay, that is theta 1, theta 2 and theta 3. Our first procedure will be to find theta 1, theta 2 as well as theta 3. So if you see this, you can see a block of 10 centimeter by 10 centimeter. Okay, so you have an if theta, you have an this distance, you know it out. This distance, whatever this distance, you know this as a 10 centimeter, sorry 10 mm, and this as a 10 mm. So opposite, whatever the distance you know, adjacent distance you know. So you can apply the tan formula, that tan theta is equal to opposite by adjacent. If I apply the same over here, the theta becomes tan inverse of, what is the opposite for this, is 10 divided by the adjacent is also 10. So tan inverse of 1 is 45 degree. So you can do it in the calculator. So theta 2. So in the theta 2, we take the same thing, that is tan theta is equal to tan theta 2. Okay, tan theta 2 is equal to, what is the opposite for this? The opposite is this distance from C to A, whatever this distance is there vertical, this is opposite, and adjacent is B and C, this pura. So over here it is 10 plus 10 plus 30, that is opposite, and adjacent is 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, so this is 40. So that is tan 30 degree, tan inverse of 30 by 40. So tan 3 by 4 is, or tan 0.75 is, if you do in the calculator, you will get as a 36.87 degree. Please do mind that this is all are in degree, do not take in the radians. Okay. Then the last is theta 3. Theta 3, for theta 3 we have the distances as such. Over here, this is a distance and this is a distance. This is the adjacent one and this is opposite. Okay. So in that case, tan inverse of opposite is 1 or 10 divided by the adjacent is 20. So tan inverse of 1 by 2 is, you'll get in the calculator as a 26.565 degree. So our first step is done. In the first step we found the values of the theta. The second step will be finding the x component and a y component for individual force actually. That will be our second step. So what we need to do is for individual force, that is 2 kilonewton, 5 kilonewton as well as 1.5 kilonewton, we have to find the, the resultants actually. Okay, that is our aim. So one more thing you need to observe over here is while finding a resultant, make sure that the line of action is sometimes passing through O. Okay, if the line of action is passing through O, at that time, remember this one concept. At that time, you can neglect one movement itself. Okay, we'll see this in the future. As of now, we'll find the resultant. Our second step is to find R. We need a formula, that is summation of fx square plus summation of fy square, which is also can be written as rx square plus ry square, because if this is r, which is resultant, this will be x component, and so this is will be x component and this will be y component. I can write it as an ry rx, as we are used to write for f. F for f, x component used to be fx, y component is fy, the similar way. So in our next step, what we proceed is we find summation of fx or rx, we'll find it out. So if we do the summation of fx, now you are, I hope you will be very good with the concepts that if there is a theta which is connecting to the x-axis, we'll take it as the x component as cos theta, right? So for first it will be 2 cos 45 degree, that x component. So I'll change the color and we'll try to draw it. Okay, this will be, okay, I hope this color is not visible. This will be x component, this will be the y component. The same with this. So I can take over here x component, y component, x component, y component. Okay. So our next step would be our next step. So in our next step, what we do is we just take the next force, that is the 5 kilonewton. Okay, the 5 kilonewton. So that is plus 5 cos 36.87 degree. And next is, see, all the force which is going on this direction, we are taking it as a positive, which is going on the other direction, we will take it as a negative, as we have taken in the beam. The same thing. You see this 1.5 kilonewton, does it moving go away from this force system? Moving from the right to left, we'll take that as a negative as such. So that will be 1.5 cos of theta 3, that is 26.565. Okay. So if you do that all the addition, so I want everyone to do this in a single form in the calculator. Okay, it should be a single type and you should get an answer, and that answer is 4.72 kilo Newton. This is the first step, sorry, this is the second step, and our next step is to find summation of Fy. So in the summation of Fy, which is also equals to Ry, now we assume that, okay, whichever is going upward as a positive and whichever is going downward as a negative. Remember this. So which is our first force as we have taken everywhere, that is 2 kilonewton. So 2 kilonewtons y component is 2 sine 45 degree. So next force is 5 kilonewton. Next force is 5 kilonewton. But it's 5 kilonewtons y component. 5 kilonewtons y component is going downward. So we have to take it as a negative value, and 5, the same value cos the 36.85 which was over here, it becomes just directly sine 36.87. No differences. You don't need to look after again. The next is, only thing you need to look is the directions. The next is 1.5 kilonewton. So it's y also in the downward direction only. So it will be negative y. So that is minus 1.5 sine 26.565. So again, this all things should be calculated in the single calculator step. So once it is done, the value will come as a minus 2.257 kilo Newton, and K is small k. Remember, K is small k. So what is this plus and minus indicating over here? The plus and minus indicates not a negative force. It just indicates the direction of the force, because we assumed here the force which is going from left to right as a positive, and this force is going 4.72 kilonewton is going from left to right. So the answer is came in the plus. Over here, this force which is Fy or Ry, which is going downward. Remember this, downward, because we assume the downward as a negative. So we have to draw over here or write in the next to the force as a downward. So you have option, okay, you have an option actually. Either you can write as a minus 2.275 kilonewton or 2.257 kilonewton, in the bracket write downward force. This is option. You have an option. The force is not a negative. The negative terms just indicates the direction. Okay. So we got to know all the basics which is required. Our next step is finding resultant R, and R formula is summation of fx square plus summation of fy square. So we apply the value, that is 4.072 whole square plus minus 2.257 whole square. Okay, please do take the value of the negative or positive while doing the mathematics. While interpreting, just take the directions. Okay, there's a difference. Don't confuse the both. So again, if I calculate this, I get a value as 4.655 kilo Newton, where K is again small k. Okay, so I got to know what is the resultant. I got to know what is the fx and fy. So let me draw this. Okay, let me draw a general drawing. So my summation of fx is going from left to right. I have drawn this. This is summation of fx. My summation of fy is going uh, top to bottom. So I have written summation of fy, or you can write again it as an rx You can write this as an ry. My resultant, whichever is going in middle, this I give it as an r, that is equal to 4.655. Okay, this is a one step that is done. But our numerical doesn't end over here itself. We have to find something else, that is alpha also, where the value of the alpha is summation of fx square plus, sorry, so not the summation, alpha is tan inverse of summation of fy divided by summation of fx, or ry divided by rx. Okay, that is alpha. So tan inverse of, you take it as an 2.257 divided by 4.072. So the value you get is 29 degree approximately, and this will be your alpha, which is 29 degree. Okay, this is about, okay, the negative sign, we are not taking the negative sign over here. Okay, we are not taking the negative sign as of such. And now we got to know everything that is required, that is resultant alpha. But we need to find one small thing, that is this distance. We got to know what is this resultant, which was 4.655 kilonewton. We got to know, okay, and k is a small k. But we need to find this resultant. How do we find the resultant? We find the resultant with the help of the movement, with the help of the moments. So we got to know the resultant, and we find this distance actually. Sorry, we find this distance, and this distance we call it as a moment r. So what we do over here is, we do a summation of movement about a point O. We'll take about a point O, okay, and we start calculating the summation. We make every force and its summation, and we find it. Okay, so as such now, uh, we are not considering R, we are considering whatever the force that is present in the system. One is 2 kilonewton, 5 kilonewton, and 15 kilonewton. But remember one thing, we are considering only its x component and y component. Okay, because we need a perpendicular distances from point O. So let us take the first force. The first force is 2 kilonewton. Its x component and a y component. This is its x component and its y component. The y component is passing through the moment center, so it is 0. Its y component, there is a definite distance, that is 10, 10, 10, that is 30. And the rotation which is taking place will be, looks like a clockwise. How to find that rotation? Moment center, look at that force, keep one thumb at this point, one finger on this, and try to move which direction the force is moving on. So if the finger moves in the clockwise direction, then this is clockwise movement. So we consider one thing, clockwise movement as a positive, anti-clockwise movement as a negative. Okay, this is just an assumption we do. So for first one it is 2 cos 45, which is force, and perpendicular distance is 30. Force into distance. And for second force, that is 5 kilonewton, see, I have taken wisely the force, its x component and y component over here. I could have taken somewhere over here also, where it is possible to take x component and y component. but I have taken over here. The reason is, if I take over here, one more numerical will come, right? One more numerical term will come. So what I have done, I neglected that by taking the force on the moment center itself. So when you take the line of action on the moment center, the whole moment itself is zero moment. So I took this trick and finish it off. The same thing you should understand how to simplify the numericals. So for 5 kilonewton, that is the only the x whatever the x component is passing through the moment center. We can see that this x component is passing through the moment center, is 5 1, and y component making a definite distance. So, and that is also again clockwise. So I'll take it as a plus 5 sine 36.87. This whole thing is force itself, and distances is 50, 5 units. Okay, that is force into distance. Again, our last force is this 1.5 kilonewton, and this 1.5 kilonewton is one force is passing through the moment center, and one more is parallel, which is our perpendicular, which is having a definite distances of 1. So I can take it as a plus because it is again making a clockwise rotation. 1.5 sine 26.565, which is full, is a force itself, multiply with the distance, which is 10. So if I calculate this whole term, I get a moment of 199.13 kilonewton mm. And the last thing over here is the last step. The last step of our thing is to find that distance d, right? And we have a formula. I hope you know this formula. Summation of m naught divided by r, because summation of m naught is equal to r into d, right? This was a thing which is we derived from the Verigno's theorem. So d is equal to summation of m naught divided by r. So this is 199.13 divided by 4.655, which is 42.8 mm. That is a d, and all the numerical whatever the things to be we need to find, it's already there. So we found everything that should be found, and that's the end of this numerical, which might come for a 15 marks maximum, 15 to 10 marks. Okay, this is a range. So this is all about the numerical. Please to solve the other numericals from the SS Bhavikatti. Okay, so that will be helpful for you, and it is essential for you to solve it, because the more you solve, the more mistake you start to do, and the more mistake you do and more mistakes you try to correct yourself, the more perfection you do. Okay, this is the idea behind all the solving the more numericals. Okay, then we'll wind up this.